the fuck is that, dude?
What the fuck is that?
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
I'm scared, dude.
The GTFO Open Alpha is finally here. We've been waiting to play this game since late 2017. That's almost 2 full years since the announcement of the game. Before October, I believe one of the last things we heard from this game was back in March, saying that it won't be released this spring. I was beginning to think this game was a dead project, but lo and behold, the GTFO Alpha has arrived. How is it, you might ask? Is it as good as the announcement trailer we saw back in 2017? Well, kinda. Now, this is the alpha version of the game, so I'm not going to be focusing on bugs or glitches or anything like that. No, instead, you need to ask yourself, is this game fun? And does it feel as good as the announcement trailer looked? And the answer to that question is, well, kinda. As far as story goes, you and your 3 buddies get dropped into a deep underground facility to retrieve a person who's stuck down there. First, you find a key, and that opens a door, which I'm assuming brings you to the next area, but that's as far as I got. The game is tough when alarms start sounding, and it's pretty obvious that there's some things that still need to be worked on. When I first watched the GTFO trailer, it made me think of Left 4 Dead meets Payday. It looked like fast-paced gameplay with constant enemies running towards you, just like Left 4 Dead, but after playing GTFO, that's just not the case. GTFO is a much slower-paced game. Enemies are randomly placed over the map for each playthrough, but there definitely isn't as many of them as there are in Left 4 Dead. You even have the option to use stealth and sneak past certain enemies to avoid confrontation altogether, which is cool, because when I played, we found ourselves constantly trying to come up with new strategies for taking on larger rooms. Imagine every enemy is like the witch in Left 4 Dead. Walking past them at the wrong time will set them off. There's at least 3 different types of enemies in the alpha that I encountered. You got the main humanoid guys, the bigger guys, and even this thing, which we only encountered a couple of times.
What the fuck? Oh, that looks so weird.
It's always fun to sneak up on enemies and bash them on the head with your melee weapon. And as a matter of fact, you'll probably want to do that often because ammo in this game is pretty scarce. Combat is fun, but enemies have this weird strobe-like effect while running towards you, almost as if it's like a claymation. It made the combat feel shoddy and unfinished, which I guess I can't really complain about at this point, but it's just something that really bugged me. Overall, the game feels alright. The alpha is fun, but I feel like GTFO might be one of those games that loses its spark after playing it for more than 10 hours. I'm not saying I got bored, I'm just saying that a lot of the things that we were doing felt repetitive, and I feel like after playing for multiple hours on end, you'll get used to everything in the game, and at that point, it will become repetitive. That's why I'm hoping with new maps, maybe new objectives, and maybe even a new campaign, that repetitiveness will cease to exist in the future. Overall, I enjoyed the small taste of GTFO that we got. Still though, I can't feel that, considering this game has been in development for about 2 years now, you'd think with how long it took to just release an alpha version of the game that it would have been a little bit more than what we got. Maybe I'm overthinking it, maybe they're just taking their time on it because they would rather flesh it out rather than releasing a unfinished buggy mess, but only time will tell. Anyway guys, those are my first impressions on GTFO. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more stuff like this, and we'll see you next time.
So, I don't know, you guys want to go each take your own, or, alright?